Hey everyone, welcome back to Shofarian's Hidden Hollow, the podcast that explores biblical truths in small bites. I'm your host, Ben, and today we're talking about something that we've all have either eaten, heard, or used in mainstream media by now. Today's topic is going to be dietary laws. You know how grandma used to have a thing of white fat sitting on the counter in a jar? Well, my grandmother didn't have pork lard. My grandmother used something called tallow, suet. Well, I thought suet was healthy until I realized what suet really is and derived from. What is it, you may ask? Suet is considered a non-muscle fat by Hebraic standards that is filtered through your appendages, your liver, and your kidneys. So, with that being said, the suet is nasty for you. It is filtered garbage that your body filters out. And I will later in this video explain the reason why we don't eat suet and also what to use suet for. But with that being said, what is tallow? Some people, as you can see, 100% pure suet beef tallow. Not many people know the difference between beef suet and beef tallow. Tallow is the good rendered fat that you find on your meat, the marbled whites on your steak. Or it is the chemicals in the suet that have been rendered down to where you can eat it and be healthy. A prime example of this is spoken in Leviticus chapter 3, verses 1 through 5. And I read the scriptures, but I do have to say the most accurate Bible is going to be your Ethiopian Bible. And I encourage you to go buy one, or at least go get the scriptures. The second closest, to my opinion, to that of the Ethiopian. With that being said, Leviticus chapter 3. And if that which he presents is a slaughtering of peace offerings, he is bringing it out of the herd, whether male or female. He brings a perfect one before Yahuwah. And he shall lay his hand on the head of his offering, and slay it at the door of the tent of appointment. And the sons of Aaron, the priests, shall sprinkle the blood on the slaughter place all around. And from the slaughtering of peace offerings he shall bring a fire offering to Yahuwah. The fat that covers the entrails and all of the fat that is on the entrails. So, you don't see it in sheep often, but when he talks about entrails, sheep will actually have a long tail full of fat that weighs them down. Like I said, in America, that has been breeded and breeded out. But if you go to places in the Middle East like Iran, Syria, and Turkey, you will still find these sheep or lamb with entrails. Basically, it's where they store all their bad fats, and it's not healthy for them. So usually you want to cut it off at birth. Entrails and the two kidneys, the fat that is on them by the loins, and the appendage on the liver, which he removes with the kidneys. So, as you heard that, the kidney and the appendages are to be removed from the mammal, the sacrifice. And the sons of Aaron shall burn it on the slaughter place upon the ascending offering, which is on the wood, which is on the fire, and as an offering made by a fire, a sweet fragrance to Yahuwah. So, Yahuwah wants you, or God asked the Israelites to use this unclean fat and sacrifice it to him because he enjoyed the sweet fragrance and the aroma. With that being said, suet has other purpose. They used it for wagon wheels, they used it for gears, they used it for greasing candle lights, and a lot of other everyday uses. So with that being said, some people are like this. Jesus paid it all. I don't have to not eat clean things. Well, I believe the Bible stacks, and let me show you how. Because in Mark 7:1-20, Jesus explicitly stated multiple times, "Do not judge lest you be judged, for with that what judged you judge, you shall be judged. Or what judgment you judge, you shall be judged, and with the same measure you use, it shall be measured to you." He's talking about judging. Let me get a little further down. "And why do you look at the splinter in your brother's eye, but not notice the plank in your own eye? Or how is it that you say to your brother, 'Let me remove the splinter out of your eye,' and see a plank is in your own eye? Hypocrite! First remove the plank from your own eye, and then you shall see clearly to remove the splinter out of your brother's eye. Do not give what is set apart to the dogs, nor throw your pearls before the pigs, lest they trample them under their feet and turn and tear you in pieces. And ask, and it shall be given to you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, and he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks it shall be opened. Or is there a man among you, if his sons ask for bread, shall give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, shall you give him a snake? If you then, being wicked, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more shall your Father who is in the heavens give what is good to those who ask him? Therefore, whatever you wish men to do, do also to them, for this is the Torah and the prophets. For this is Torah and the prophets. Therefore, whatever you wish men to do to you, you also do to them, for this is Torah and the prophets." He explicitly stated in verse 12, "Whatever you wish men to do to you, also do to them, for this is the Torah and the prophets." He's explicitly stating following Torah. And not only following Torah, having the common sense and the knowledge to give those the respect that they give to you and give it back. Makes sense? Tracking? Good. "Enter in through the narrow gate, because the gate is wide and the way is broad that leads to destruction. There are many who enter in through it, because the gate is narrow and the way is hard pressed, which leads to life. There are a few who find it." So, with that being said, verses 13-14. Do not walk away from Torah and God's law and commands, or you will be swept away by this world. And he also stated, the way of Torah is not easy to walk. You will be persecuted. "But beware of the false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are savage wolves." My interpretation of verse 15, is all of these denominations that have sprouted due to the Martin Luther Reformation. Different story on a different video for a different day. By their fruits you shall know them. Are grapes gathered from thorn bushes, or from figs, or figs from thistles? That has a lot of meaning to it. Go back in Exodus, there was the grapevines. Go back into the Bible, in the Old Testament especially, you will find the grafting into the tree of life. So every good tree yields good fruit, but a rotten tree yields wicked fruit. And good tree is unable to yield wicked fruit, and a rotten tree to yield good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. So then, by their fruits you shall know them. When he speaks of the fruits, he is talking about Yahuwah's law, or God's law, Torah, Bible stacks. You'll hear me say that often. And if we go to John 15, it also states the relationship between the Father and us, and how if we choose not to follow the Father, he will cut us off from the vine and throw us to the flames of this world to be devoured. With that being said, I'm talking about the woman, or the whore, that the Pharisees called out and threw in the streets. And Jesus said, "For he who has not sinned can cast the first stone." He wasn't talking about being perfect, in a sense. He was calling out the Pharisees for the lies and the darkness that they've hidden in their hearts. For no one else saw this woman do such adulterous things. For who are you to say she did such things when you too have sinned in the heart and caused your sister or brother to fall short? And then Revelation, don't quote me word for word. It explicitly states that our Father will know our sheep, and we sheep will know him by his voice. But with that being said, we have to prepare ourselves to enter the grace and the kingdom of Yah. And for when Yeshua died, he casted out the laws, such as the Levite priest. For I am not from the tribe of Levi, I am not Judean. But by his blood and his grace, I can follow the laws that I can follow and still be covered by my Elohim. And Torah is the only way. And know that suet is not kosher. Make sure to get tallow. That is where the healthy meat is and the fats are. When the animal works its fats into muscles. And at the end of the day, the Most High wants us to be with him. Jesus walked it perfectly. And since he walked perfectly, we have the ability to walk closer to the Father. And James 2:17 through 18 explicitly states as well, in order to have the faith in your Yahuwah, you must have the works. And what is the works? Following his commands. And what are his commands? Torah. Torah is his command. Not all of Torah. Keep the laws that you can keep. And that's it for today's episode for Shofarians Hidden Hollow. If you enjoyed it, share, like, subscribe if you haven't. No judgment and grace to those who have yet to hear the good news of Yeshua. Shalom. See you next time.